Do you know there's a place in the world where married women spend their nights with strangers, and their husbands not only don't get angry, but feel proud of it? In the frozen heart of Mongolia, among white tents and cutting winds, there's an ancient custom that has survived for centuries. Stay until the end of this video because you're about to enter a world no other documentary has dared to explore. This is the real Mongolia. In this land of bitter cold, where winter drops to -40, survival means cooperation. For centuries, Mongolian nomads have learned that turning away a guest is a sin, because that guest might be the one person who saves a tribe from death. From that belief, a tradition was born, the night of the guest. If a stranger arrives at your yurt, the family must welcome him, feed him, warm him, and offer company, sometimes until morning. But why? To outsiders, this might look strange or even immoral. But for the people of Mongolia, it means something sacred. They believe a guest carries the spirit of ancestors and the blessing of life. Rejecting a guest is like closing the door on destiny. Women who take part in this ritual say, "We welcome the guest's spirit, not his body." By doing this, our tribe stays protected. Yet this custom isn't simple. For years, the Mongolian government has tried to ban it. Lawmakers call it a violation of human rights. But the tribes say this is our identity. Without it, we have nothing left. A few journalists have visited these remote areas. One of them wrote, "When I woke up, the hostess was sitting beside me. Her husband brought us tea. There was no shame, no anger, only kindness." In the deadly winters when not a single soul can be found for miles, that kindness is what keeps life alive. Here, a stranger is not an enemy, he is a savior. But the younger generation faces a conflict. They grew up with phones and the internet. They've seen the outside world. Now they ask, should we keep walking in our mother's footsteps or abandon a tradition that once kept us alive? Many young people are drifting away from it, but in some regions it still stands strong. The elder women say, if this custom dies, blessing dies with it. The old men, with pride, add, as long as we breathe, the night of the guest will live. To them, this ritual is not about desire, it's a sacred contract, a bond between human and nature, between warmth and frost, between survival and extinction. In today's world, where every action is judged by screens, local traditions are quickly labeled, governments deny them, activists criticize them. But deep in the Mongolian steppes, there are still families who believe this ritual is the reason their tribe remains peaceful and whole. When we asked one woman if she was tired of this custom, she smiled. Tired? No. It means we are still alive. It means someone still knocks on our door, someone still brings warmth. Maybe that single sentence answers all our judgments. The real Mongolia is where humanity, morality, and survival intertwine, where warmth means something deeper, and the border between right and wrong blurs in the -40 cold. For these people, respecting a guest means respecting life itself. But the question remains, can this tradition survive the modern world? Or will it, like a camel's footprint in the snow, slowly fade away? Perhaps the answer lies in the eyes of those women who still keep a lantern burning through the night, so that if a traveler passes by, he'll know. There's still one place on earth where the door is open. If this story stirred your mind, join us in the next episode. In Nepal, there's a tribe where no foreign man is even allowed to look at their women. The world of traditions is full of contrasts, yet deep inside, they share one truth: the endless struggle of humans to survive. Before the next video, ask yourself, if you lived in a frozen world, how far would you go to keep your heart warm? Nothing in Mongolia was born from leisure. Every custom is the result of 1,000 cruel winters. Here, the land demands an exchange for life, and the deal people made with nature was based on trust. Trust between humans, families, strangers, and the earth itself. They say in the old times, if a traveler arrived during a blizzard and you turned him away, you sentenced him to death. And the death of a guest meant the death of fortune. So the tribes created an unwritten law: every guest must be received. And in -40 cold, hospitality isn't just tea and bread. It's warmth, it's embrace, it's life itself. As centuries passed, the custom became identity. Women became the hosts of the night, men its guardians, and no one doubted it. Because in their belief, woman is the source of blessing. If she accepts the guest, God accepts the family. But time changed. Mobile phones entered the yurts. Young boys and girls now see on social media what was once forbidden. A young girl says, "When I read about the outside world for the first time, I realized our custom is strange. But my mother said without it, we wouldn't exist." A middle-aged man says, "When my wife hosts a guest, I feel proud. It means our home is trustworthy. If she welcomes with her heart, blessing comes." Yet the youth see things differently. For them, the world spins faster now. They ask, "Do we still need this for survival?" The elders answer, "As long as Mongolia stays cold, this fire must keep burning." In recent years, the government tried to restrict the ritual. International media reported on it, some with anger, some with awe. Officials said, "We must ensure no woman is forced." But in the heart of the steppe, laws freeze in the wind. One old woman said, "No one ever forced me. We learned this from our mothers. When a guest comes to the yurt, it's God knocking. How could we not open the door?" To the government, it's a moral issue. To the tribe, it's sacred. Two worlds breathing different air. The night of the guest begins when the sun hides behind the mountains. Oil lamps are lit. Smoke rises from the roof of the yurt. The husband introduces the guest, and the wife pours tea. There is no shame, no judging looks. Everyone knows. This is not sin, not betrayal, it's heritage. Sometimes they just talk. Sometimes they pray. Sometimes they simply share warmth until dawn. In a culture where the night cold can kill, that warmth may be the greatest gift of all. At sunrise, the hostess boils tea and sees the guest off. Her husband smiles and says, "Our home has welcomed well." For them, a new day begins. The outside world measures this custom by its own standards. Some call it immoral, others call it beautiful survival. But no one truly understands that these people have been bargaining with death for centuries. A Western researcher once said, "When I lived with the tribe, I learned this is not a sexual act. It's a social language, a way of telling nature, we are one with you." Mongols never needed outsiders to define morality for them. They lived by the rhythm of the earth, not written laws. In new schools, teachers speak of equality and individual rights. But when class ends, the children return to yurts where tradition still breathes. A little girl asks her mother, "Will I have to host a guest one day?" Her mother pauses, "Only if your heart says so." A ritual without the heart is no ritual at all. Maybe that's how change begins, slowly, gently, without rebellion. A tradition that never questioned itself is now being questioned. Yet even so, no one wants to lose its blessing. Most of the world has never heard of this custom. But in Mongolia, it's a part of daily life. In harsh winters when storms scream and silence swallows everything, sometimes only the fires crackle and 2 human breaths remain. In that moment, right and wrong lose meaning. Only humanity survives. In a world frozen by indifference, these people still keep their doors open. Maybe that's what keeps them alive. The real Mongolia isn't just a land of white tents. It's a mirror, forcing us to face questions we avoid. If you lived where the cold could steal your life, how far would you go to stay warm? Would you embrace a tradition that saves you, even if the world condemns you? In a planet where people fear each other, this tribe still trusts the stranger. And maybe that trust is humanity's oldest secret to survival. One Mongolian philosopher said, "We see love as a river. Build a dam and it rots. Let it flow, even if it flows away from your tent." That philosophy might sound impossible to a modern mind, but maybe that's the secret of peace in the steppes, a place where people have learned not to hold love, but to release it, so it can return. If you've stayed this far, you're one of the 10% of people who seek truth, not headlines. So hit subscribe and comment "continue" so we can release the next episode sooner. With your support, these stories will reach more hearts, and the hidden truths of the world will come to light, one by one.